Hi guys, this is Hero. How's everyone doing today? Ajibala Kemcho. Ad sab kaise ho. So today I'm not in my usual spot, as you can see. I'm actually in my house in India, but unfortunately my trip got cut short and I'm leaving today. But everything's okay and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to see some people, like even from this channel that I started talking to, but that couldn't happen. Anyways, I just wanted to make this quick video on Mars going stationary in Taurus. Okay. Why is this important? I personally feel that Mars gets the least attention or not the least attention, but relative to how much attention it should get or importance it should get, it gets the least. Okay. So this is important. Why? Well, Mars is the planet that goes retrograde the least amount. Okay. It only goes retrograde every 2 years. So when it stops going retrograde, it's really, really important. Okay. Secondly, it's in its opposite sign. Okay. So whenever a planet is in its own side, opposite sign, or exaltation or debilitation, it's important, which is for most planets like 6 out of the 12. So it's happening half the time, but it's still important. Okay, so I'm gonna cover this video. It's gonna be pretty quick though. Okay, so let's start off with the dates. So Mars went retrograde end of October, like October 30th, and it is going progressive like a week from today. Okay, so like I think around January 12th or January 13th, depending on where you live. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that it's in Taurus, right? So Taurus represents, like, it could represent food, okay? So I know personally, for me at least, and I think for a lot of people, the last 2-ish months, you've probably been able to tolerate or eat some food that you probably wouldn't have been able to before, okay? I know personally, me in India, I didn't really have that many stomach problems. Like I was pretty much able to eat anything. Same thing right before I left in Thanksgiving, I was pretty much eating whatever, like the whole week. I had like events the whole week, right? In the United States, we take Thanksgiving very, very seriously. Also, apologize for the shaking. I don't have my stand, so I have to like hold my phone up and I'm switching hands, like left hand to right hand. Anyways, so yeah. And then between Thanksgiving and India, I had a wedding to go to. It was like a very close family's wedding, excuse me. It was my first cousin, right? My mom's eldest brother's daughter. So I was there for like almost a week and I was still almost eating whatever I wanted, right? Point is, you could have noticed that because Mars was retrograde, it was allowing you in its opposite sign of Taurus, which kind of represents food. It was allowing you to eat some foods you kind of would have been a little bit more intolerant to eating before, okay? When Mars goes stationary, that intolerance may come back. So I just want to let you know that I hope you've had your fun over the holidays and a little bit before, you know, just enjoying that, like food and stuff, but just kind of start getting back in the zone of, you know, making sure that your stomach issues or that your stomach might have the possibility of having some of those issues come back. Or you could have had the exact opposite problem, okay? Because when Mars goes retrograde, it's a little bit kind of unpredictable. So you could have been more intolerant. If that was the case, like around these dates, then most likely that intolerance will kind of die down afterwards, okay? You kind of have to see how it's going. So it's really hard to say specifically what's going to happen for everybody, but I like to make these videos just a little bit in general, so that way you can guide yourself a little bit better or you can guide other people a little bit better, okay? Now, another thing. Mars is a very explosive planet and it only goes retrograde once every 2 months, okay? If you had some kind of explosive thing, and I know I had something really explosive happen at the beginning of November. It was probably like the worst time of my life. Okay, not really, but it was real, you know, it was pretty bad. But point is, you could have noticed that something bad happened around like November time or even this month, because when exactly it will happen. But throughout the retrograde, and if you can pinpoint it to Mars specifically, you could have noticed that something happened, but it was kind of like a quick thing. It didn't really last long, okay? But it kind of still could have been in your back of your head until right now. That will probably leave your head very soon, okay? Or if the opposite happened, where something kind of good happened explosively, that influence will probably exit your life pretty soon, okay? So just want to give you a heads up. When Mars goes retrograde, it's a very like interesting thing, okay? Some things could happen and things like that, but I'm not gonna say it's temporary, but it's kind of like Ketu, right? Where it's like once the karma is done there, it's over, right? Like kind of. So most people don't think of karma when they think of Mars, but that's a big mistake. Why? Because it owns the natural, like the first sign and house. I mean, like it owns the first sign, which is like really, really important. And it also owns Scorpio, which is like in charge of all intuition and things like that. So just wanted to throw that out there. Something else. So one other thing I wanted to say was that Rahu is that this video is when Mars goes progressive, is that it goes progressive from like mid-January to mid-March, okay? So during these, in Taurus, right? I'll make a separate video when it goes to Gemini maybe. But when it's in Taurus, there's two main other planetary influences that affect this. So one is Rahu in Aries, which is Mars' own sign. And second is Saturn goes into Aquarius like a couple days after this transit starts. And it's in its main sign, throwing a third aspect on Aries, okay? This means what? There's going to be some changes that you're going to make for like for yourself, I guess you can say, that have a little bit of a Rahu taste that you could have already noticed even before this retrograde started, okay? But however, also, just real quick before I continue, when this retrograde started, whatever changes you were kind of starting to make when Mars went into like a little bit before Mars went retrograde, you could have noticed that they could have got a little bit adjusted, right? Or there's some kind of obstacles. Those obstacles might kind of go away a little bit as Mars goes progressive. But so when Mars goes progressive again, because Rahu is in Aries, it's going to give you, it's going to make you want to make changes, right? Now, it's important to obviously understand the Rahu side of the energies to make sure that you don't attach to that too much, right? Like, for example, I've been hitting the gym like crazy before I left for India, okay? Like, I was pretty built before I left. Like, I was like over 200 pounds and things like that. But point is, monitor your Rahu energies a lot, but Saturn's going to help you monitor it also, okay? Or you can use your Rahu energies Saturn will use your Rahu energies in a kind of better light. So you could still fulfill Rahu's agenda, but Saturn will make sure that it's for a higher karmic purpose or something like that, okay? All this stuff I'm saying, it kind of depends, while I'm kind of going back and forth, it kind of depends on your spiritual level as a whole. So I'm kind of trying to cover like everything in one video, but you need to be a little bit mindful of like where you're at and like a little bit of other factors like how your natal planets are and things like that, okay? But in general, I think these are the main things that are going to apply for everyone, okay? If there's like a one takeaway thing, is that when Mars goes progressive, you're gonna want to make the stuff at the beginning of the video I said will apply, like the food thing and things like that. Because Mars is in Taurus, it doesn't really like to be in Taurus. You could feel like a little bit bored or something like that. It's okay. It's just 2 months. Just kind of like get over it. But like Rahu's gonna kind of try to make its influence in Aries. I'd say, like I said, just be mindful of Rahu's little tricks and try to see how Saturn can help in the picture on, okay, if you do Rahu is in Aries, right? There's nothing you can do about it, but you can kind of try to positively use these energies as best as possible to deal with the situation and to help fulfill Saturn's agenda. Since it's in Aquarius, and it'll be like a good start for Saturn in Aquarius, because when Saturn's in Aquarius, it's like the best time for karmic fulfillment, okay? Especially since Ketu's in Libra also, okay? Which is Mars's ruler's main planet, okay? So you'll be able to kind of intuitively do things and detach more than you would have been otherwise, okay? So, and also because Venus is in Saturn's other sign, okay? That was also what I wanted to say. But I think you guys got the gist of whatever I was trying to say in this video. And as usual, if you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much for watching.